Yes, some of it's actually dangerous to the point of killing people. And don't be surprised if you go, wait a minute, that's me. Case in point, you've gone in to a doctor complaining about fatigue. And this is for men as well as women, especially women, because they'll tell you, oh, well, you're low in iron because of period. And then just next thought, here's an iron supplement.
Tell us a little bit about what you wish more people would awaken to when it comes to minerals, and maybe some of your own awakenings when it's come to minerals. I have an assumption that you probably think a lot of the information out there on minerals that people hold is not true, or
Yeah.
you know.
Yes, some of it's actually dangerous to the point of killing people. And this is typically in the cases of, and don't be surprised if you go, wait a minute, that's me. Case in point, you've gone in to a doctor complaining about fatigue. And this is for men as well as women, but especially women, because they'll tell you if you're still having a regular cycle, oh, well, you're low in iron because of your period. So, and then, just next thought, here's an iron supplement. Look, I mean, we even have an iron supplement. I tell people not to buy it unless they've done a hair analysis. The reason why is because blood, one of the areas that blood really, really unintentionally lies to us very, very directly is that we have an iron recycling system in our body that I never hear anyone talk about, that recycles nearly all the iron you ever take in your life, about 96% of the iron you consume. So if you're eating a heavy meat diet, you're getting plenty of iron. So just with that, now with that new fact, how likely is it that anyone, including women having a period monthly, are low in iron? If they're vegan, I get it, maybe, then, but because that iron's bound in plants, it's not very available. These, again, just speaking from a place of facts. Everything I'm going to share today, a couple promises. One, it's going to be facts. It's not going to be my opinion. Two, it's going to be something you can absolutely use for the rest of your life every single day. And if you don't use it, honestly, you'll be selling yourself short. So yeah, these are hard-won truths. And it's that I love to play in the realm of like, does this hold water, and to what extent? So we've gotten to see this again and again and again and again with upgraded formulas. So with iron, let's say you go in and you test your blood and you're low. So again, this might be you. Like this might be you, or definitely someone this has happened to. And then because you're low in the blood and you're complaining about fatigue, a doctor that's not familiar with the whole concept of lifeblood, the fact that the blood is the last place to show a deficiency. All right, so that's another fun fact. Boom. So we have a couple banners here, right? The blood's the last place to show a deficiency. Oof, let's really think about that. Should we be testing that then for most things? You're probably gonna go, wow, what other options do we have? And that's exactly what I got to. So this is just good critical thinking that's initiated by good logic and facts that are not commonly understood. I can't tell you why for sure hair testing isn't taught in medical school, but I can tell you where the funding for medical school comes from, and probably a lot of people listening to this know that. But it's not in our best interest where it comes from. It's funded by companies that want to sell us drugs, and a lot of it. What I know for a fact, having done hair analysis for 14 years personally, and then in this company for about 8 in March, and seeing, we have a team of nutritionists saying, look at all these things, is that most people don't know how to read a hair test. they're not aware of it, and the only thing that they've heard maybe is their doctor criticize it because that was based on like 1980s hair tests, and they've greatly improved the entire industry since then, like most things have. Just like cars used to not have seat belts. I mean, it's yeah. So again, leaving space for innovation, staying open. This goes beautifully what we started the conversation, which was right. Staying open with whatever you think you're sure of, right? Because the things that really hurt us are the things that we're so sure that just aren't, right? Um, and blood is exactly that. Iron levels is exactly that. It's not likely that you have an iron deficiency. What happens to Tom or Katie when they go in to the doctor and they show low iron in the blood? What has happened? They've been high, especially if they have other signs like they've gone gray prematurely, or just a whole head of hair is gray. That's an oxidative stress thing. That's a lack of bioavailable copper, vitamin A, magnesium, and too much iron. And you can see all this pretty clearly with hair testing. With blood, last place is going to show a deficiency. By the time you have a deficiency in blood, you could have caught it a decade sooner in hair, at least. Um, and I, I wish it was easier, and I wish people knew, but more. I wish more people were aware of this, because we'd have a lot healthier people. But you look around, and I mean, most people aren't doing well. Most people are overweight. And that's not just our country. A lot of countries are that way. It's more and more as more people adopt all these foods and all these medications that we're doing, but we're by far the biggest, the most heavily medicated country. And I think the part of the reason it's not taught in medical school too is that the natural result would be not anything except supplements. It wouldn't be drugs. It would be like, hey, this ratio is off, so you actually need to be salting your water and based on your levels, and you need potassium, and you need magnesium, and you need manganese, and you need iodine, and you don't need copper, but you need these four other things, or you just need these three things, whatever it is. But the CDC, which we know is very conservative, even they said 96% of people have four or more deficiencies, which honestly I've seen to be true. I've seen like 100% of people have like at least a couple deficiencies.